Okay. Welcome back to Lenz Comic Corner Classic Lesson Non-Classic. This is episode number 2... No, it is 3154 and Doubleshot 3048. We have two books here to deal with aftermaths of crossovers. First one we have is Infinity Gauntlet Aftermath, which contains the first 7 issues of Warlock and the Infinity Watch, along with Silver Surfer, Volume 3, Issue 666, Dr. Strange vs. Supreme, Issue 36, and material from the Silver Surfer Annual. Skipping up the Silver Surfer stuff, this book is also really good here. Actually, for 6 issues of Warlock Infinity Watch. So, basically, it's after, like, I get Silver Surfer involved in this, but Doctor Strange, well, he just had to be here. So, also, I'm seeing Humans for reasons, but the stuff here is really good. I recommend checking it out. But in the case of the Warlock Infinity Watch, so the opening issue is this. By the way, it's written by Jim Starlin, and he does pretty much almost his entire 42 issue comic book, except for like one issue. He skips one. So yeah, starting with Warlock, we have Angel with Demons in the artwork here, with Terry Austin inking. So we have him look like on trial with these various elders. These include Galactus, the Devourer of Worlds, the Stranger, Eternity, the Living Tribunal, a Celestial, Uatu the Watcher. So, yeah, we have. So basically, here's what we have here. We have Master Order, Mistress Love, Sullen Celestial. So remember I mentioned the Stranger. Master Hate. The blobhead guy is Epoch. One of the Watchers, down the mentions of Uatu, Galactus, and Lord Chaos. And basically, it's all about dealing with what to do with the Infinity Gauntlet, since basically and Warlock has it. He demands to keep it, and a lot of it, of course, he also with a little bit of flashback, basically stuff back in the 70s, which is really cool. They included this because Jim Starlin wrote it. So a bit of a catch up on who Alan Warlock is. For people at probably the time, basically, we not read the other comic, but really good here. And then issue 2, you might think Infinity Watch, some issue 1. Nope, issue 2. So we start with Moondragon in the ruins of a spaceship, where she is basically exploring it, and Warlock recruits her. Yep, Warlock recruits her, and it recruits Drax, Star-Lord, Star Fox, and also recruits Drax Destroyer, Gamora, and Pip the Troll, and they're also selected as the Infinity Watch. And their job is to protect the Infinity Stones. Each one of them is Infinity Stones, except for the Soul Stone, because that remains with Alan Warlock. So yeah, and then the Infinity Watch, then he just leaves. Yep, these 4 people know this Infinity Watch, and he just leaves. They go up someplace. Basically, goes visit High Evolutionary, which issue 3 has him going visit High Evolutionary. Adds the rest of the people and eventually gets to High Evolutionary, and we actually see behind the helmet. Except he's not talking to him. Yeah, so there's behind the mask of her Wagnum. And then we have Guest Appearance Fantastic Four here. We have various stuff Infinity Watch is doing. They can just do whatever the heck they want because their job is to keep an eye. Of course, they have something with Drax Flowers. Bit of mission stuff, a lot of action here per se. Leading to They Attack. Yes, They Attack. Which is basically an older version of look like Adam Warlock from the past. It's just a retelling of basically Warlock from a past version of himself. And you have basically people you have just Moondragon and Gamora just doing some cosmic stuff here. And also Thanos himself shows up. He actually mentioned becomes a member of the Infinity Watch at one point. Yes, Thanos. And then go to Omega, which is basically see Adam Warlock versus a robot. Yes, a robot in issue 5 of this book. Yep, so the Infinity Watch has been captured. Sam Warlock has to go free them. And he's been persuaded by the Soul Stone to free them. And he does, after being a bunch of robots. Eventually they are free. And then the Man Beast shows up. Yes, old Thor villain, the Man Beast. But we also have a quick pin up here from the Infinity 5 annual, which is basically Infinity Watch with Silver Surfer, which is awesome. And then we have basically Adam Warlock versus Man Beast. And that's pretty much the gist of issue 6, and that's pretty much basically the main issue's nutshell. Now, is there any more after this? Well, then afterwards they move back over to Silver Surfer for one issue. Yes. So after the first 6 issues of Infinity Watch, and it's back to Silver Surfer. After being back, basically the way it works is chronological. Is have Silver Surfer 60 first, and then it's first 6 issues of Infinity Watch, and then Silver Surfer issue 61, 62. Let's just go straight to issue 66 of Silver Surfer. Yes. Oh yeah, in 62 we see the return of the original Captain Marvel, except basically all the whole dead stuff. Does it switch to Doctor Strange at some point? Well, not really. It stays with Silver Surfer into issue 66, and then I think it switches over to Doctor Strange. I believe so. I'm going to just take a look here about this one. Oh, a little fun fact. I've seen this cover many times. And I think I actually own this comic. Yeah, Silver Surfer 66. And then it's Doctor Strange issue. Excuse me. What seems strange, they included Doctor Strange issue, but not Doctor Strange. Although actually, no extra Silver Surfer. Which includes a story. Yes, a story from it. Which is featured separately in Infinity Watch. My guess included because, well, it's Infinity Watch. Yeah. And that is pretty much basically the Infinity Gauntlet nutshell. Infinity Gauntlet Aftermath. An excellent book. I give it a 10 out of 10. Next up, basically, we have is, well, an event that, to my knowledge, since I'm reading comic, this is by far the only event ever in the history of our comics to have 0 build-up. Yeah, the only one. You think, oh, what was Secret Wars? That build-up? Yes, it did. Name one air crossover in Marvel Comics that had 0 build-up. You think, was it Siege? No, it actually had build-up in Dark Reign. Secret Invasion? Yes. Wolver Oak? Yes. Like, aside from this event, I want you to name any major event in Marvel Comics that had no build-up. You think, what about Infinity? That was loosely built on the pages of Avengers. Access. Uncanny Avengers by Rick Remender. Original Sin. That was a little bit built up in the pages of Nova. Yes, despite the fact that everybody's an area. You think, okay, so was there like any other event you can think of? Basically, like third grade list comics as well. Aside from Civil War 2, name one Marvel comic crossover that had 0 build up besides Civil War 2. So basically, this book is like a lot of the other stuff related to Civil War 2. Like, that's not the tie-ins, because this book contains, from Civil War 2, Ulysses. Yes, this book with Ulysses by Al Ewing. And Chuck Hudson on the, he also co-writes it with Jed Priest Network. We also have the Qs. This actually discussed in the Age of S.H.I.E.L.D. trade paperback. The Fallen. This is basically all about the aftermath of the Hulk from the main story, where it's basically Betty Ross, Scar, the Warbound, and Rick Jones receiving Bruce Banner's will and ranging for the Warbound return to space, despite the fact the planet they originally came from was actually destroyed. Yeah, Scar is gone. Yeah, the planet Scar was destroyed by Galactus. The Oath. This basically was, let's see. The Oath was the aftermath issue of, yeah, this was, believe it or not, the aftermath of Civil War 2. And this ending set up quite possibly one of the worst crossovers in recent memory Secret Empire. I love the original story called The Secret Empire, but the event was awful. Yes. Ulysses focuses on Ulysses supposedly training at the Tower of Wisdom by Karnak, except he doesn't really train. He's weird people there. He tries to escape. It's more like a side story. It doesn't feel like it's part of the main event. It felt like basically this miniseries had no consequence. I believe this book was released digitally first. Yes. Unlike the other stuff in here, they had a reason for being here. Like Oath, that was the Aftermath issue. Fallen, that was basically dealing with Death of the Hulk. I believe it was in Civil War 2, number 3. Which The Accused basically was also followed up with that one too, except that dealt with the actual trial of Hawkeye for Death of the Hulk. That is mostly put exactly the reason for its existence. Ulysses, probably because basically they focus on, the main driving force of the story. A Inhuman, yes, an Inhuman, who somehow gained the ability of become sort of have precognition. And, the stuff like, it worked at first, and then we had other weird stuff happen over the course, like, this is going to happen, like, this lady has got a briefcase bomb. And then the Ultimates was arrest her, and they open it up, and there was nothing. And then this American proceeds to smack Blue Mo with a chair. Like, it's basically a wrestling match. Like, what? Yes, seriously. But no denying the worst tie-in, and this is, I am not going to blame basically, like it is by far one of the dumbest things. So, you have people being arrested for crimes they didn't commit. It's like Minority Report, and the way it was treated was weird. It's like, this was supposedly ran by Captain America, Carol Danvers, and this did not feel like part of the story because, yeah, basically the whole thing was like, because the way it was shown in the promotion, like, they're going to fight over Human Torch. Nope, Human Torch was not the main focus of the story. This he looked like he was. So basically, you think with this book here, like, is there anything really left to discuss for this event? Yes. Rock, Raccoon, and Groot. And that's pretty much it, because I discussed pretty much everything now. Well, except for Rock, Raccoon, and Groot, everything else has pretty much been discussed. Yeah, I know, because I just checked. Like, there is, like, virtually, like, nothing else left to discuss for this event. You would think. Kingpin. Nope. Basically, I've already discussed pretty much everything that has been released. All the chapters released, except for Rock, Raccoon, and Groot. That's the only thing left to discuss for Civil War 2. Yeah, for Al Ewing, one of his few tie-ins, like of the main tie-ins, he did the Ulysses book, and he did New Avengers, which basically the book ended long after his tie-in. Like, here's basically what happened to books, not long after the events wrapped up, the event itself wrapped up. A-Force ended, so did Age of S.H.I.E.L.D. All the Avengers was simply relaunched as simply Avengers. All the Wolverine managed to last for another about 23 issues before getting canceled. Captain America Sam Wilson, this managed to last for another 11 issues. Captain America Steve Rogers, about the same thing, about a year. Captain Marvel was later launched as Mighty Captain Marvel. Deadpool continued on no problem after this. Yeah, this managed to last for another for a little bit of time before it was renumbered to triple digit numbering. Guardians of the Galaxy. This managed to last for a very short period of time after this. This managed to last for its tie-in for about 5 more issues before we relaunched under, I think it was Gary Duggan. Excuse me. International Iron Man. 1 issue, and the book got canceled 3 issues later, replaced with Infamous Iron Man. Invincible Iron Man got restarted. Mockingbird ended. Miss Marvel managed to last for another 28 issues before ending. New Avengers ended the following issue. Nova managed to last for 2 more issues before it got restarted. Patsy Walker, aka Hellcat, this managed to last for another 9 issues before getting canceled. Power Man Iron Fist lasted for 6 issues before getting canceled. Rocket Raccoon and Groot ended with this very crossover. Scarlet Witch, this book managed to last for another 6 issues before getting canceled. 2099, this book managed to last for another 9 issues. Spider-Woman, 6 issues. Squadron Supreme, this managed to last for a shocking 3 more issues before canceled. Thunderbolts, 7 issues. Totally Awesome Hulk, about 6 more issues, and then it was retailed Incredible Hulk briefly before it ended. Ultimates got restarted as Ultimates Squared or Ultimates 2, and lasted for a year before getting canceled. Uncanny Avengers managed to last for another 14 issues before getting canceled. Uncanny Humans, that managed to last for another 10 issues, and ended. Then Space Knight managed to last for a few more issues before getting canceled. So, if you think about it, a lot of Marvel comic was heavily affected by this thing. Like, any time basically affected by this, like, the only one basically was able to survive no problem after this was probably Deadpool. Yeah, Deadpool managed to last for quite a while. That one along with... That's probably like the only one. Because everything else pretty much in the way got canceled within like a year of this story. Or within like the very next issue or Crunchman's crossover. Because that's Marvel Comics basically for you when it comes to crossovers. It's like, ooh, we have all these tie into the story, and then in the aftermath, let's axe our line for no reason or just restart it because Marvel Comics. We love canceling books. Yep. But in a nutshell, I did enjoy The Fallen. That was really good. I like The Accused. The Oath was interesting. Yes, it was a prelude to something basically no one wanted. Probably the worst book, and it's not the writer's fault per se. It's Ulysses' book. It is the weakest book in this trade paperback. Yeah. So, it is nice though, the fact that Civil War 2 has almost been fully reviewed. I just got one more trail to go, and I can put this crossover behind me. Yeah. So there's that. So that's pretty much a particular review. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn notifications. Next up, basically, we have is From One Country Pumpkin to Master Swordsman. And then our comic corner, and then it's on the Black Butler. Okay, thanks you. Bye.